Hello guys, my name is Alexei. I am the customer support representative at Stripo, and this is the new Stripo webinar, modules and localizations. Today we are going to talk about how to not only translate your email or template into other languages, but how you can utilize other additional capabilities such as module, the general module feature, the advanced, which might be a synchronized module, and conditions. So, and how combine all of that together and properly organize your work within the Stripe platform. So I'm going to show you with this template example, but before we dive into details, let me show you how to enable this option in general. So in the settings here, we have to proceed to workspace, projects and groups, and we need to find the needed project. In my case, this is the webinars, clicking on which I see the list of settings which I can customize for this project specifically. And there is the localization option here, so which I can enable firstly if needed, if I want to utilize it. And this is the place where we can set up and define some default settings. We can override them before each new translation directly within the template or email, but this is what the place to start. So I will keep it as it is, as a default language, English, and I've chosen a few languages here. So as you can see, Czech, French, German, Greek, and yeah, so those few languages, and Italian. Okay, so that's very good. This is the first step that we have to accomplish. Uh, Now let's jump back to the email I have showed you. So here we have such a romantic topic about love. As you can see, I have the main English version. Since I've just enabled the localization feature, I see this icon on my top tool panel here, clicking on which I can, as I said, I can slightly modify and change settings, but let's keep it as it is for this webinar. And there is a few essential steps. The first one, when we decided that we have this our main language, we chosen our languages to which we want to translate. And the first step is to click on this icon. This is not a accomplished translation yet. The system is creating the structure for the future translation. So now let me show you what I mean by that. So now we have the default option, translate with Google Translate. So this is the default option, and I can click to translate button if I want just to proceed with this option. However, there is more than just machine translate, which is Google Translate. And also, just in case, translate with AI will come in soon, and this option will be available. So you will be able to use both options, the Google Translate, translate with AI under the machine translate category. But let's imagine that you want to send a file, some kind of a file to the proofreader, and you want that translation to be solely done by the human, avoiding machine translation. So in this case, you can download Excel file or JSON file, And let me show you with the JSON file. So we choose the option. Then we need to download the file just like this. And I'm going to open it. So as you can see, I have some IDs here, like this, ID number 3, and the content chunk related to original version. Those fields are empty on this stage. This is how it should be because the human should add the needed chunk of content. So then having that file with all needed information, I can get back to Stripe, so I don't need to keep this window opened. So we can do that anytime. So click JSON. Now we just skip this step and we can drop the file into this window. Or clicking here, we can upload from our computer. So, and then the system will do the job, will update and synchronize all information. The essential here is to keep the structure. So please don't delete or modify those ID. This is exactly how the system knows where to place the needed chunk of information. That's very good. Also, we can combine two approaches, the machine translation and then after send the file to human, to the proofreader. So this can be done in the way, let me choose the Google Translate and hit the button. Now the system is translating this template to 5 other languages, and if I will choose any version, let's say French here, you will see that this is true, that the content has been translated just in a few seconds. This is very amazing about this feature. But as we know, the Google Translate is not ideal, so we cannot trust it to 100%. And after we accomplish translation with the Google Translate, what we can do, we can download the JSON file one more time, just like this. And let me show you and compare with the one that we have downloaded previously. So this was the first file. This is the second. So as you can see, those fields, they are not empty, but maybe they are not perfect. Translation is not perfect. So you can send this file to proofreader, which can now just, it might be more effective time usage. So, okay, this line is okay. Well, let's keep it as it is. This one, there is a minor mistake here. So, and the human, the proofreader can just update quickly, then send you back this file, and you can put it here back, and system will update the translations. So and now when we've accomplished that translation, I can easily switch between language versions here in this menu, just like this. It's a very straightforward process. You can notice that this email will have another ID. So our system consider this one as a separate instance, separate email. They are related to each other because they in one group, like translated email. But for our system, this is a separate instance, and we can apply, we can style change, do some modification within this email separately from the original one. So, and use all editor capabilities. And also, if we have a look to the name, you will see that we have the same name, but there is the language version also is presented. So this is how you can understand and navigate here. Let me jump to the Stripe account. And as you can see here, now there is an icon, additional icon appeared, which tell me that there is a translations. Clicking on this icon, I can see all languages, their IDs, correspondent IDs, and from here I can jump into certain version. So not only through the top tool panel, which is very convenient. So this is how it works. Well, guys, let me probably disable my camera to not distract the needed fields, and we are going to proceed further. What I want to show you next is how you can add tags, and that might be helpful feature when you need to search and find a certain template, not only translated one, but in general as well. So there is a few three dots here. We can click on it and then get info, and you will see that so here I can put a tags. So let's do that. French, German, Greek, and Italian. French, German, Greek, Italian. Perfect. So we've added, you can add any, so that's up to you. Also by clicking on this field, you will see the one previously added, so you can just choose from here for your convenience. Okay, and let me show you one more time. Three dots, get info. This is the place to manage tags. Now I'm going to move to the folder. So there is a small collections, and as you can see, some of them has these icons like here, or this one also have this icon. Some of them does not have it. But if you have a big library of emails, that might be a bit difficult task to just scroll down. So what can be done here, we can click on this icon and apply filter by translated only. So this is one possible option. Also, we can combine different options together, not only use them separately. And let's say I want to see all French translated versions. So in the account environment, as you can see, I still see my main language version, which is English. But I know that clicking here, I can quickly open the needed option. So this is how you can navigate through the Stripe account. Well, now let's talk about modules. We're not going to dive very deep with this topic because we've already covered in a bunch of other webinars, and this is not the purpose to explore exactly the modules. So, but for those who are new to our channel and with Stripe, let me one more time open the email and show you modules, briefly show you modules capabilities. So modules, they are as a universal and reusable chunks of the template, which can be dropped in any other layout, and then you can utilize them over and over again. This provides you with capabilities to create new design on the fly, just drop in modules and quickly adapting and enhancing the information. So as you probably know that within the Stripe editor, you dealing with four type of boxes. So they have a certain hierarchy. So at the very bottom, we have a building block. In this case, it is image block. We have 13 on my right. You can see 13 of those building blocks. The building block cannot be saved as a module. However, we can, by using this icon here, up to container, we can go up to the parent element, and starting from the container, we can save this element as a module. As you can see hovering here, I see this option. Now we can go up to the structure, and also we can save structure as a module. So, and also that can be done with the Stripe. By hovering here, we can save Stripe as a module. So let me probably show you with this chunk, with this content part. So let's click on this Stripe. As you can see, now I'm dealing with the Stripe element. Hovering here, clicking. This is the place where we can create a new module. We need to give the mandatory parameter a name. And using all other possibilities, you can properly streamline and organize your modules library, because you may have many of them in the future. Okay, so module name, let's give it some content part, and this is English version. Let's say Stripe with three structures. And let's also say that this is English. Okay, this one we can copy for another translated module. And what we see here is category. Let's choose, let's say, popular. And synchronized, we skip it this for now and show you, I will show you further this option. And also let's give some name. So this is content, some text. So that's content, also English. And you can also add a bunch of other. So this is up to you. But for now, let me just keep it very simple. The system creates unique identifier, by the way, which can be also changed if needed. But for my purpose of demonstration, this one is perfectly fine. So, okay, this is very good. Let's just save it. Now let's do the same job for any other translated version. Let's say French. Let's open it and do exactly the same, but with that translated module. The idea is here that you can, after translation, you can navigate through all your language versions and save as many needed modules as needed. So that can be the same module, but translated to all languages. And then later you can drop it in some other template or email, which might save you a lot of time. Okay, and let's do the same job here. Save. I will give the name we have used. Just here, change French. Description. We'll give the same. Also, just only update slightly. The same category. And let's give few tags. Very good. Let's just say it, okay? Very good. Now we can get access to our module library by clicking here. So we can proceed to My Modules, and just simply scrolling down, we can see those two modules. We can search by name, by tag, or module ID. Let's try to search by tag, French. So as you can see, I can quickly find the needed one. So from here, by clicking on those three dots, I can edit this module. I can delete it, and also very useful options is to copy or share to some other project. So in this way, you don't need to recreate from scratch from within another project. You can just simply copy or share. There is a slightly difference, but if you want to have the new separate instance of such module in the another project, then you have to copy that one. And if you want to just share and be able to drop it without editing or deleting, then you can use this option. So very good. And also we can use these options here. We can search by categories, clear all, let's say, and choose only popular, and we will see our modules. Or we can search by tag. For that, we can directly put it here into the field or scroll down to the tags section. As you can see, clear all, and let's say French. Okay, this is also the way how can we find the needed module very quickly. This is very good. So after we have saved some element as a module, now I can see that this is a module, as you can see here. So I see the name of it. If we compare to Stripe, which is above, so here we see Stripe content. So, and this is also a small prompt for you within the editor that this is a module. And hovering here, we see this additional button, update module, clicking on which we can do some editing job and update this particular module, or we can save as a new, which will create a new separate instance. So also from the account environment, we can proceed to modules tab. Now we are here, email messages, and let's proceed to modules. This is separate tab which showing you all your modules within this project. So since I do not have too much of them, I can just scroll here and find those two that we just created. But as you can imagine, the library might be much bigger, and that can create a problem for me. So also I can apply searching capabilities here. So choose by search by category. Now let's say only popular, and as you can see, those two are presented. We can clear or select all, and also we can search by tags here. Basically the same logic that we have applied in the editor, but for some cases it might be more beneficial to be able to do that from separate tab. So from here, I can also open in the editor this module and do my editing job. Specifically, this module is separated from all other content, which might help me to not be distracted and specifically deal with this module. So here is I can also switch between desktop and mobile view. So, but as you can see, the top tool panel is limited because this is a special mode of the editor, not related to as a general one. but specifically needed to deal with the modules. And what else can be done? So I can copy or share from here. And clicking on the needed module, I can update information here as well. So next, let's discover the advanced feature of modules, which is synchronized modules. They can solve the problem of email localization when you need to change something in many emails. And doing it manually takes a long time. So, and there is a high risk of error even when using localized modules created in various ways, master template, or let's say translation features, modules with display conditions, you still can have a hard time updating all of them. For example, you have a link to a specific language version of the site in your STA, but you translated this block, added it to several templates, and this link needs to be changed to the corresponding language version of the site. This is where synchronized modules come into play. So using the old-fashioned way, you have to replace this link in each module and template manually, avoiding forgetting in what modules this link is present. But synchronized modules allow you to change it in one module, and after that, these changes will be transferred to all templates that have this module. It's a pretty handy approach that saves you from a big headache. So, but let's less talking and more practice. And let me switch, open again the template that we already translated, and probably I will already from here open the certain language version. So I will show you only with the one module, but the idea is generally the same. We need to save module, we can make it synchronized, and we can do that for different language versions. But this one at the this header will be a good example because usually it probably will remain static. We have some logo image, some information, navigation menu, but in one day maybe you need to update the link only for French module or update the icon. So with the synchronized module, this will be very helpful. Let's name it header French. Okay, header with logo plus menu. Okay, and we will choose category headers, make it synchronized, and also will add text here. Very good. So save the module. As you can see, now we also have this information that this is module, and we see the name and also additional icon here, sync off. That means that it is already synchronized module, but synchronization is not accomplished yet. So it's not activated completely. For that, we need to enable it here. And as you can see, so now there is another status, sync on. This is what we need, okay? So we want to leave it on. If I want to unsynchronize, so I can just disable this. But for these purposes, I explicitly want to keep it sync on. This is very good. So now let's do this. let me leave this template, and I want to create any from basic library. Let's choose empty template layout. Now we need to find our module. Let's just simply drop it from here. Okay, so as you can see, the module is dropped. Now we also I also want to make it synchronized. So the status is changed, sync on, as you can see. And in both templates, we have header, which is module, and this module is synchronized. Now I can proceed to modules tab here, find the needed module, open in the editor. Also, just let me show you that you see this additional icon, synchronized. Let's open again. And let's say you can change a link or some information. Let's just change the contact. In other way, I need to do that manually, just like if I need to update one word. But so as you can see, now we have test, and we can leave the module, open again here. Let's see. Yeah, as you can see, information is updated. And also let's check that it works within the template. Yeah, this works here as well. So as you can see, the synchronized module, it's a bit more advanced topic, but you probably need to spend some time to be more familiar. We have covered this one in different articles and webinars, so you definitely may find a bunch of good material on this regard. Finally, let's talk about conditions and how you can combine them with localization and with modules, with synchronized modules. So let's just move step by step. First step is to proceed with settings, workspace, projects, in my case, webinars, and here we have display conditions feature, which I can enable in general for this project, and let's just add a few conditions. So description, we can skip it, so it's not mandatory, but in general, it's good habit to describe and provide for your future self a more description. So then we need to add the open code and closing code. So open code is mandatory. As you can see here, this icon means mandatory. Closing code is not mandatory. Sometimes the condition should be in the middle of something. Okay, so here I have a small prompt for myself. Let's just copy from here, and for English recipients language and for French. Okay, this one would be for French. Okay, opening and closing. Good. Let's create another one in English recipients. Okay, we will add another starting condition, the open code, and the same closing one. Very good. English, there is English. Okay, so generally speaking, conditions provided by your system, sending system, and this code, you can use condition to wrap up a certain element within the editor. That and in this approach build a dynamic template. So let's say you may have one the same header and footer, but the content part based on recipient's gender, language, or country. And then before sending such email from your system, your ESP will dynamically create the needed version of the template for each recipient based on the applied conditions. So here you can create an entire library of conditions. This is just two simple examples from standpoint of today's webinar. Now let me jump here back to my emails, and I will show you with another template, but with those modules that we already created. So let's open it. What I'm going to show you, this is a slightly different approach. So we do not have translated versions, so there is no translations. Let's say that for me in this case does not matter, I'm not matter about header and footer, they will remain the same for all versions. But the matter of fact for me is the content section. So let's drop from here the content part French, and let's drop from here content parts English. Okay, just like this. So as you can see, we have one header, we have one footer, and two modules. So I do not need to recreate them. I just drop them here. The same can be done with headers. So I can have two headers and apply two different conditions. But for now, I just want to keep it simple and show you with the content part with one condition code. So click here, the stripe, as you can see. There is display conditions, which can be activated within the editor. If some condition you're planning to use just once or twice, you can choose custom category and directly add condition here in the editor. But if you're planning to reuse, this is the good approach to add in the projects as we done, and just here choose the needed one. In this case, it's English recipients because this is content part English. And as you can see, we have code before the module and code after module. And the same I'm going to do here for the content part French. Display condition and choose French recipients. Very good. Once I've done that, I can see additional icon here, which tell me that this is the condition. Hovering, I will see the name. And I see here that condition has been applied to this element. So I can apply condition not only to modules, to other elements as well, but what we are trying to show you that how you can combine different features in Stripo for your benefit. Okay, so now how can I check and test this out? There is a additional icon which I can get access to view options, and there is a possibility for me to display both conditions or only certain ones. So let's choose only English recipients. That helps me to check the final appearance of the email for English recipients directly within the editor. Also, we now see this information here, and anytime I can restore. Okay, so this view option affect only the view in the editor without affecting and changing the code. And also we can do the same with the
apply only French recipients. So this is the possibility how you can do that within the editor and continue your job with styling, changing something here. So let's say in this approach, you have one template without translated versions. Within one template, you can drop translated modules, apply conditions. So that means that you have one instance, but your system will dynamically combine the needed version for each recipient based on the language in this case. Now let's go to preview. Here we see also this icon, display conditions. We can disable them all and you will see content without conditions, or we can apply a certain one and see the version for French recipients. So both, you can use both approaches, testing approaches within the editor or on the preview. Also within the editor, you do not see condition code in the HTML. So it can, the system add it only after export. Well, we've covered a lot of material today. Thanks to being with us. That's it for today's webinar. Please feel free to reach out to us, drop us a line. Support team, we will be more than happy to assist you with this topic if needed. Have a nice rest of your days, guys. Let's keep in touch. See you.